Ladies and gentlemen, planning your day is not just about managing meetings, deadlines, and tasks. It's also about managing the most important connection in your life, your relationship. If you can learn to plan your time well, you can learn to love well. Starting your day with intention is one of the most underrated yet most powerful habits you can cultivate, especially when it comes to maintaining and growing a healthy relationship. The way you approach your morning shapes not only your mood, but also the energy you bring into every interaction with your partner throughout the day. If the first moments of your morning are filled with chaos, rushing, or mindless scrolling, you're unintentionally setting a tone that can make your relationship feel secondary. But when you choose to begin with clarity, purpose, and connection, you create a foundation for deeper understanding, respect, and emotional closeness. The moment you open your eyes, your mind is in its most receptive state. This is when your thoughts and feelings are more likely to stick with you for the rest of the day. If the first thing you focus on is stress, worrying about deadlines, bills, or unfinished tasks, that stress will follow you like a shadow. And if you're already tense or distracted, your partner will sense it, whether you say anything or not. Our tone of voice, facial expressions, and small gestures all carry messages, even before we speak. That's why starting your day with intention isn't just a productivity hack, it's an act of love and care. When you wake up, take a few moments to be fully present. Before you pick up your phone, check your messages, or think about your to-do list, give your attention to the person next to you or the person you love. This could be as simple as saying, "Good morning" with a genuine smile, asking them how they slept, or giving them a warm touch or hug. Small acts like these might seem insignificant, but they send a powerful message. You matter to me. You are part of my first thoughts today. You can also set an intentional tone by practicing gratitude first thing in the morning. Think of one thing you appreciate about your partner, even if it's small. Maybe it's the way they make you coffee, the way they supported you yesterday, or simply the fact that they're part of your life. If you make this a daily habit, not only will it make your partner feel valued, but it will also train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your relationship, instead of slipping into complaints or criticism. Another important part of starting with intention is protecting your mental space before outside distractions take over. When you immediately check social media or news, you're allowing the world to dictate your mood before your relationship gets a chance to. Imagine this. You wake up, scroll through your phone, see something frustrating, and now your partner is greeted by a version of you that's already stressed or annoyed. This can create unnecessary tension even when your frustration has nothing to do with them. By setting a rule for yourself, no phone or outside news for the first 15-30 minutes, you give yourself the opportunity to start from a place of peace, which benefits both you and your relationship. Starting your day with intention is also about knowing what energy you want to carry into the day and making a deliberate choice to create it. If you want to feel calm, speak calmly. If you want to feel connected, begin the day with connection. If you want to feel appreciated, offer appreciation first. Relationships thrive when both people feel seen, heard, and valued, and mornings are the perfect time to reinforce that feeling. Remember, it's not about creating a perfect morning routine or forcing elaborate rituals. It's about making sure the first moments of your day reflect your priorities. And if your relationship is truly important to you, it should be part of that first focus. When you start your morning with love and intention, you're not just planning for a productive day, you're planting seeds for a stronger, more resilient, and more joyful relationship. Don't let the world's noise come before your partner's voice. This is a simple statement, but it carries a deep truth that many people overlook in their daily lives. Every morning, the world competes for your attention. Your phone lights up with notifications. Emails demand your response. News headlines flash urgent updates. And social media begs you to scroll. All of this happens before you even get the chance to fully open your eyes. The problem is, the more you give your attention to these outside voices first, the less energy and presence you have left for the person who matters most to you. In a world where everything moves fast, it's easy to forget that your relationship is not just another part of your schedule. It is the foundation that supports everything else. The first voice you hear and respond to each morning should be the voice that adds meaning, comfort, and stability to your life. When you choose to prioritize your partner before the endless stream of notifications, you send them a message that they are valued above all the noise. That kind of message builds trust and intimacy over time. Think about the way most people live.
They wake up, roll over, and reach for their phone. Within seconds, they are reading about other people's lives, reacting to news that doesn't directly affect them, or answering work-related problems. By the time they put the phone down, their mind is already in a different world, full of deadlines, worries, and outside drama. And then when their partner says good morning or tries to start a conversation, the response is distracted, half-hearted, or impatient. This might not seem like a big deal in the moment, but over weeks and months, it creates a subtle emotional distance.
When you put your partner before the world's noise, you are protecting your relationship from being drowned out by distractions. It's about setting a boundary, a clear line that says, the outside world can wait. My connection at home comes first. This boundary is not only healthy for your relationship, but also for your own mental well-being. It allows you to start the day with intention, calmness, and focus, rather than being pulled in 100 directions right away. So one way to do this is by creating a short morning ritual with your partner. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. It could be sharing a cup of tea or coffee together before you check your phone, having a short conversation about your plans for the day, or even sitting in silence together for a few minutes. The goal is to create a pocket of undisturbed time where your attention is fully on each other. This moment acts as a shield, protecting your relationship from the chaos that comes once the day begins. When you listen to your partner's voice first, you also gain perspective. Their words, their presence, and even their silence remind you of what truly matters. Work emails might be urgent, but they are not as important as the bond you share. News headlines might be dramatic, but they will not hold your hand when you're tired or comfort you when life feels heavy. Social media likes might give you a rush of dopamine, but they cannot replace the warmth of genuine human connection. Choosing your partner's voice first is a daily decision, and like any habit, it becomes stronger the more you practice it. Over time, it builds a deep sense of security in your relationship, because your partner knows that no matter how busy or demanding your life becomes, they are never just an afterthought. This is not only a gift to them, it is also a gift to yourself. Starting the day with love and connection strengthens you for whatever challenges come next. The world will always be there, loud and impatient, but the voice of the person you love should never have to fight for your attention. Dividing your day into time blocks that feed both personal and shared growth is one of the most practical ways to keep your relationship strong while still achieving your individual goals. Many people struggle with balancing work, personal ambitions, and relationships because they believe it's a matter of finding time. The truth is, time is never found, it is made. And making time for your relationship is not just about squeezing it in between other commitments. It's about deliberately designing your day so that your partner and your bond have their own rightful space. We all have the same 24 hours, but the difference between a fulfilling relationship and a neglected one often lies in how we choose to spend them. If you allow your schedule to be filled only with work tasks, chores, and distractions, your relationship will eventually feel like a background activity, something that happens only when everything else is done. But if you intentionally set aside time for connection, your partner will feel valued and your relationship will have the chance to grow alongside your personal goals. Time blocking is a simple yet powerful method. It means assigning specific periods of your day to specific activities and sticking to them. Just as you would block out time for meetings, exercise, or study, you should block out time for moments of togetherness. These blocks don't have to be long. Even 20 to 30 minutes of undivided attention can make a significant difference. The key is that during this time, you are fully present. No phones, no work calls, no half listening while your mind is somewhere else. One example could be having breakfast or dinner together without distractions. Use this time to talk about your day, share your thoughts, or simply enjoy each other's company in silence. Another block could be for a shared activity like a walk, a workout, cooking together, or watching something you both enjoy. These moments may seem small, but they build a rhythm of connection that keeps your relationship alive and energized. It's also important to block time for your own personal growth, because a healthy relationship depends on healthy individuals. If you neglect your own physical, mental, or emotional well-being, you will have less to give to your partner. Spend time on activities that help you grow: reading, learning a skill, exercising, or pursuing a passion. When you invest in yourself, you bring fresh energy, ideas, and positivity into your relationship. Your partner benefits from being with someone who is growing, motivated, and self-aware. Balancing these two kinds of time, shared growth and personal growth, prevents two common problems in relationships. The first is neglect, where you spend so much time on personal goals or work that your partner feels left out. The second is overdependence, where you spend all your time together but neglect your own identity and ambitions. The healthiest relationships are those where both partners feel fulfilled individually and connected as a couple. Another key point is to treat these time blocks with the same level of commitment as any professional obligation. Many people will cancel quality time with their partner for work-related matters, but would never cancel a work meeting for personal reasons. This sends the wrong message. If you want your relationship to be a priority, it has to be reflected in your schedule and your actions. Life will always throw unexpected demands at you, and there will be days when schedules shift. But if you have a foundation of regular, intentional time together, your relationship will have the resilience to handle those changes. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and giving it deliberately to both yourself and your partner is one of the clearest ways to show love and respect. When you block your time with purpose, you are not only planning your day, you are planning for a stronger, happier future together. Ending your day with gratitude is one of the simplest, yet most transformative habits you can practice in a relationship. The way you close your day has a powerful impact on how you and your partner feel about each other, and it shapes the emotional tone you carry into the next day. No matter how busy, stressful, or challenging your day has been, ending it with appreciation creates a sense of warmth, safety, and emotional connection that strengthens your bond over time. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you for the big obvious gestures, it's about noticing and acknowledging the small, everyday actions that are often taken for granted. Maybe your partner made you a cup of tea without you asking. Maybe they listened patiently while you talked about your challenges. Maybe they simply shared a smile when you walked into the room. These moments may seem small, but they are threads that weave the fabric of your relationship. When you point them out and express appreciation, you make your partner feel seen and valued. Many couples underestimate how much these small acknowledgments matter. Over time, a lack of appreciation can make even the strongest relationships feel dull or strained. People want to feel that their efforts, no matter how small, are noticed and valued. When you express gratitude at the end of the day, you remind your partner that what they do matters to you and that you don't take them for granted. This builds emotional trust and reduces resentment, which is one of the biggest silent killers of relationships.
Ending the day with gratitude can also serve as a reset button. Not every day will be perfect. There may be disagreements, frustrations, or stressful events that spill into your interactions. But when you take a moment before sleep to focus on what went right instead of what went wrong, you give your relationship a chance to heal and close the day on a positive note. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means choosing to balance challenges with appreciation so that negativity doesn't become the default atmosphere in your home.
You can make this a simple, nightly ritual. It could be as direct as telling your partner one thing you appreciated about them that day. You could also write it down and share it, or even express it through a small gesture, a warm hug, a kind smile, or holding their hand before sleeping. The key is sincerity. People can tell when words are just routine, so focus on truly noticing something you're thankful for. This habit also benefits you on a personal level. Practicing gratitude regularly shifts your mindset from focusing on what's lacking to focusing on what's present and good in your life. It trains your brain to see the positives, even during challenging times. Over time, this creates a deeper sense of contentment and emotional resilience, which makes you a better partner. A grateful heart is less reactive, more patient, and more open to love. When you make gratitude a part of your nightly routine, it also builds anticipation for the next day. Your partner goes to sleep feeling appreciated, and you both wake up with a stronger sense of connection. Over weeks and months, this small habit compounds into a deep emotional foundation that can withstand life's inevitable challenges. It's not the grand gestures that keep relationships alive. It's the consistent, intentional moments of kindness and appreciation that make both partners feel secure and valued. In the end, ending your day with gratitude is not just a polite gesture. It is an investment in your relationship. It's a choice to nurture the bond you share, to remind each other of your importance, and to close each day with love instead of leaving it to chance. Gratitude turns ordinary days into meaningful ones, and meaningful days into a lifetime of connection. Protecting your energy is one of the most important yet overlooked aspects of maintaining a healthy relationship. The truth is, you cannot consistently show love, patience, and understanding to your partner if you are constantly running on empty. When you are drained physically, mentally, or emotionally, you are more likely to misinterpret words, overreact to small problems, or withdraw from meaningful connection. That's why managing your own energy is not selfish. It's a responsibility both to yourself and to the relationship you are building. Every day, life pulls at you in countless ways. Work demands your focus, responsibilities at home require your attention, and the world constantly feeds you information, news, and opinions. If you give all of your time and mental space to these things without taking a moment to recharge, you will eventually have nothing left to give to the person you care about most. And when that happens, love starts to feel like a burden instead of a joy. Protecting your energy begins with awareness. You need to know what drains you and what restores you. It might be certain stressful environments, overcommitment to tasks, or too much time spent on digital distractions. On the other hand, you might find renewal in activities like exercise, reading, meditation, spending time outdoors, or simply enjoying moments of silence. When you understand your own patterns, you can make conscious choices that allow you to bring your best self into your relationship.
One common mistake people make is giving their best energy to the outside world and only offering their leftover energy to their partner. For example, someone might give all their focus and patience to their colleagues during the day, but come home exhausted and irritable, with little emotional capacity for meaningful conversation or affection. Over time, this imbalance sends a subtle message: you don't get the best of me, you get what's left of me. That message, even if unspoken, can create emotional distance.
The solution is to intentionally reserve some of your best energy for your relationship. This doesn't mean you neglect your other responsibilities. It means you manage your energy flow so that your partner still experiences the warm, patient, and attentive version of you. It could be as simple as taking a short break before coming home, practicing a quick breathing exercise, or listening to calming music on the way back so you can reset your mind before engaging with your partner.
It's also important to set boundaries with the world to protect your energy. This might mean saying no to certain commitments, limiting time spent with people who constantly drain you, or reducing exposure to negative news and social media. When you protect your energy from unnecessary stress, you naturally have more to give where it matters most.
Finally, remember that your partner's energy matters too. Relationships work best when both people are mindful of their own emotional reserves and support each other in recharging. If you notice your partner is running low on energy, step in with understanding instead of criticism. Offer them space, encouragement, or a small act of kindness to help them recover. A relationship is like a shared battery. When one person is consistently drained, the connection suffers. But when both protect and replenish their energy, they bring more patience, joy, and love into every interaction. Protecting your energy is not a luxury. It is an investment in the emotional health of your relationship. By making it a daily priority, you not only take care of yourself, but you also create a safer, more loving space for your partner to thrive. Love grows strongest not through rare, dramatic expressions, but through the small, consistent acts of care that happen every single day. Many people believe that relationships thrive on big surprises, expensive gifts, or once-in-a-lifetime trips. While those moments are beautiful, they are not what sustains connection in the long run. What truly matters are the daily choices to show your partner that they are in your thoughts and that their happiness matters to you. This is why planning small acts of love into your day can make a powerful difference in the health of your relationship. The beauty of small acts is that they don't require much time or money. They require intention. When you plan your day, you can deliberately include moments that show appreciation, kindness, and affection. This could be sending a thoughtful message during the day, making them a cup of coffee, offering a sincere compliment, or doing a chore they normally handle without being asked. These acts may seem simple, but they carry a deep emotional weight because they signal attentiveness and effort. The challenge in modern life is that we often get swept up in our responsibilities, deadlines, and personal goals. Without conscious planning, it's easy to assume that our partner already knows we love them. But love, like any living thing, needs consistent nourishment. When you intentionally schedule small gestures into your day, you keep your relationship alive with fresh energy. For example, you might set a reminder on your phone to send a sweet message during your partner's break time. Or you might decide that every evening you'll take 5 minutes to genuinely ask how their day went and listen without distraction. Even something as simple as holding their hand when you're walking together or leaving a short note for them to find can brighten their mood and strengthen your connection. Small acts of love also help balance the stress and challenges that inevitably come in any relationship. Arguments, misunderstandings, and life pressures are normal, but consistent gestures of care create a buffer of goodwill that makes it easier to navigate hard times. When your partner regularly experiences thoughtfulness from you, they are more likely to feel secure and less likely to interpret difficulties as a sign of neglect. It's important to remember that small acts should be tailored to your partner's needs and love language. For some, words of affirmation mean the most. For others, it might be acts of service, physical touch, quality time, or thoughtful gifts. Paying attention to what truly makes your partner feel loved will make your gestures far more impactful. Planning these acts into your day also keeps love from becoming a passive habit. Without intentional effort, it's easy to slip into a routine where you live alongside each other without actively engaging. By consciously thinking, what is one thing I can do today to make my partner's day better? You transform your relationship from autopilot to intentional connection. The key is consistency. One small act of love won't change a relationship overnight, but hundreds of them over months and years create a deep, unshakable bond. This is the quiet power of daily intentionality. It turns love from a feeling you have into something you actively build. Love doesn't need to be complicated. When you plan your day, make sure it's not only filled with tasks and responsibilities, but also moments of care and affection. These small acts, repeated over time, become the heartbeat of your relationship. They remind both of you that love is not just spoken, it is lived every single day. A well-planned day is more than a list of tasks and responsibilities. It is a deliberate choice about where your time, attention, and energy will go. When you make your relationship a central part of that plan, you are not just organizing your schedule, you are shaping the quality of your life. Love thrives when it is given priority, protected from distractions and nurtured through consistent effort. It grows when mornings start with intention, when your partner's voice comes before the world's noise, when time is set aside for both personal and shared growth, when each day ends with gratitude, when your energy is protected, and when small acts of love are woven into daily life. These are not complicated practices, but they require awareness and choice. The truth is, a strong relationship is rarely built in a single grand moment. It is built in the way you choose to show up every day. Plan your day with love in mind, and you won't just create a productive life, you'll create a life that is rich, connected, and deeply fulfilling.